Becoming by Monica Singer. Today I have a very, very special guest. This is my friend, Esther Anaya, professional violinist, by the way. I'm really happy to have you.
Thank you, Monica.
And she just has an amazing story you don't really hear of or know. I mean, I don't know of any other professional violinists. So I'm really excited to share this with everyone, how it is that you got to where you are, and you know, music being your passion and being a professional violinist.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me here.
Of course,
like
of
we've
course.
known each other for so long.
I
How many
know.
years?
I know. I don't know. It's probably been like 10 or
10
something.
years,
Yeah. And I know when I first met you, you know, you would talk about being a violinist, and I honestly didn't understand it. I was just like, oh.
It happens to everybody.
I was like, oh, you know, she likes to play the violin, but you would talk about it with such passion. I'm like, okay, wait, well, what do you do? Like, and then that was when people were starting to first like hear violinists at clubs and stuff like that. And then I saw it and I was like, oh my goodness, this is what she does.
Now I get it.
So I want to start off by just, you know, talking to everybody kind of about your childhood and how you grew up in this like music world.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was born in a musical family. I came from a family where my dad plays the guitar, my mom plays percussion, my brother plays the piano, my other brother plays the drums. So growing up listening to my dad, making my mom fall in love every day with his guitar and singing to her literally, it was my inspiration to get into the music. I would sit down next to my dad and he would be playing the guitar, and then I would just be listening to him making songs. And I always said to myself, I want to be like my dad when I grow up. And
cool.
Yeah, and it happened literally when I was 6 years old. I watched a movie, and it was the first time I saw a little girl playing the violin on the streets. And she was an orphanage, and she had the case. It was open, and everybody was walking around throwing money in her case, and she had like her brothers. And that specific scene marked my life. I saw it and I was like, oh my God, the sound of the violin is so beautiful. And the story behind it is so beautiful. So I would love to play the violin, and I want to play the violin like her, blah, blah. It was like running in my head. So I turned to my mom and I was like, I want to play violin. I was 6 years old.
Oh my goodness.
And my mom, she literally goes, really? And I was like, yes. She's like, okay. She waited a week to see if I was going to go away. And no, every day I'll be like, where's my violin? Where's my violin? Until my dad came and brought me a violin. And from there, it's like, forget about it.
Oh my goodness. So it's all been from you watching them, you know, that you wanted to be, you know, in the whole music industry and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like in everything in life, you have to be inspired by something, someone, or an experience. And I was inspired by both. My dad, my family, and a movie.
Which, are you like the first child, second child?
I am the oldest, and I look the youngest. That's what everybody said.
Nice.
Like, are you the youngest? And I'm like, yes.
Nice. And so then you have a brother and a sister?
I have two brothers, younger brothers. They're both married. That's why they're the oldest. They're happily married, but we still make music together. Music keeps my family together. They don't make music for a living, but they make music because
for fun.
We love and that's a huge part of my project, because as Esther Anaya, I'm not only a violinist, but I have so much passion for music, everything in general, that I make music with my family. I write my songs with my father. I collaborate with other artists, like one of my projects with Natalia as a DJ, and I sing. So it's like a combination of so many things.
That is so cool. That's really, really cool. And then, so then 6 years old, you picked up a violin. And then what happened? Like, did you just continue growing up and just played it for fun? Like, at what point did it become like, you know, where you were making income off of it?
Well, you know, it took a long time. So it started with being consistent. It was a point in my life when I was like 10 years old, and I remember my mom, this happens to all kids. If they start something, they never want to finish it. So it's very important for parents to be very consistent. You know, like if he wants to do something, then make sure he does it completely and doesn't quit. Because it's very important for kids to teach that. Well, my mom taught me that. I wanted to quit. When I was 10, because I would see all my friends always playing outside, and my mom, she'd be like, you can't go outside unless you practice for 3 hours violin, and I would be crying, literally like, with like my tears, and like in the window doing like open strings, and like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And my neighbors would see me, my little friends, and they'll be like, Esther can't go outside, she can't play because she always has to be playing the violin. Trust me, right now, they write to me on Instagram and Facebook, they're like, oh my God, I remember those days where you used to cry, but I'm so proud of you.
Oh my goodness, so it paid off.
It paid off, literally. But my mom never let me quit. She made sure I continue performing, and then she made sure I got the training that I needed. I went to conservatories. I went to private lessons. I played for big orchestras back home because I'm Colombian, came from a small town.
¿Ahí naciste?
Sí, nací en Montería, Colombia, una ciudad súper pequeña. O sea, casi la gente no sabe, pero es una joya muy linda. Incluso voy a regresar ahora en una semana.
Her accent, I die. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, I love your accent.
Thank you. I'm like, se me sale más fuerte cuando estoy rodeada de gente colombiana. Uf. Hablo súper colombiano, ahora neutral.
Nice, that's amazing. So then you grew up there until what age?
I was 13 when my family had to move to the United States.
Okay.
We're political asylum. We had to leave the country. My dad used to do politics back home. We're immigrants. We came here, left everything like a lot of people, a lot of families. The one thing I brought with me was my family, my instrument, and just us together. Okay. And we started all over again. Okay. It was a sad story leaving my country because I didn't expect it, and we didn't come to the United States not necessarily to look for a better life, but because we had to leave our country. And I didn't go back for 10 years after that. Yeah, it was crazy. But I was glad that that happened because it opened so many opportunities. Moving from Colombia to here, it took my career to another level because if I was in Colombia, and I would still be playing the violin in an orchestra or just there. But when I moved here and I started seeing so many opportunities, how I could not only play in an orchestra, but I could be a solo artist. Yeah, DJs, and I started like opening kind of like my mind and being like, okay, I'm gonna start playing with a DJ at the age of 15.
Oh wow!
I was in orchestras here before speaking any English. I went to an orchestra. They taught me how to speak English. All my mates from orchestra. I couldn't communicate with them, and I'll be like, oh, hola, and they'll talk to me in English. And because I was in orchestra literally every weekend, and it was everybody from like all different countries, no Latinos. Okay. I was like probably the only Latina.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And how old were you then?
I was 16. I was still.
Oh my goodness! So you knew no English at 16.
Nothing.
Wow. Well, that's what's really good about musicians is they say if you know how to read music, you're a little bit smarter than the average. And so it was probably a little bit easier for you because it works a certain part of your brain. Knowing these things, knowing how to read music, works a certain part of your brain that other people don't ever use. So you're naturally a little bit smarter than the average.
I'll take that. It's a compliment. Thank you.
No, but your English is great. Your Spanish is amazing. That's so cool.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Okay, so then you were 16. You learned English, and then what happened from there? Like, at what age were you like?
I graduated from high school. Then I went to college. I told my dad I want to be a musician, and my dad said to me, I remember these words, he said, you want to be a musician? You have to give me a college degree. And I was like, but I'm never going to use it. And he's like, that's the family rule. You go to college, you bring me a degree, and then you do whatever you want.
Okay.
So I had to do that. It took me like 6 years to give him a bachelor degree.
Nice.
But I gave it to him. They haven't hung there. I have never used it. Real estate
Congratulations, though. That's an accomplishment.
Right.
What did you graduate with?
It was business management and human resources.
Nice. That's a good degree, girl.
Yeah. It was good. It's
That's
still there.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, so then were you still playing music while you were in school?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the reason why it took me so long. I would be playing in Europe, violin. They would hire me to do events overseas in Dubai
Oh
and
my
in
gosh.
Cannes. I started like opening my network, and the way how I did it for anybody out there, it's I put myself in different platforms, and that's what I like to do. If you want to be seen, if you want to enter different industries, you have to go to those places. You have to make sure your talent is seen, because it doesn't matter how much talent you have if nobody knows.
Yeah.
Like, you could be the best player, but if you don't have any minutes on the field,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So something I learned from a very young age was that, and I made sure I would navigate slowly through the industries I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And I wanted to play overseas for private events and in clubs and all that. So I started meeting the right people.
Yeah.
And it was hard. Why? Because everything I did it alone.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's not like I had someone that picked me up and it's like, hey Esther, let me help you. You're very talented. Let me introduce you. No, people would tell me, yeah, I'll introduce you to this person, but
And
nobody
it didn't happen.
really cares to do that. They will
Yeah.
tell you, but they will not do it unless you're like after them.
Yeah.
And
But that
yeah.
didn't knock you down. You kept
did
you kept being persistent, even
Absolutely.
after people might have lied to you or made you believe things that never came true. You
Yeah.
you kept pushing.
Exactly.
going.
And that's where the tricky part is in any career.
Yeah.
It's like people get discouraged a lot. And I feel like if you just don't be afraid and don't be embarrassed and put your ego down.
Yeah.
Because that was my mistake for a couple of years. I had an ego, and I say it because if I would have known that before, I probably would have been in a different place right now. But put your ego down and go knock the doors, because nobody cares if you're beautiful. Nobody cares if you're talented. What matters the most is how much you want what you want and how hard you want it. Because if you want it so bad, there's going to be a point where people are going to be like, damn it, get it.
Yeah,
just take it.
go.
And
Stop
leave
bugging.
me alone.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
absolutely.
basically my theory.
Yeah,
you know?
I believe it 1,000%. Yeah, I totally do. You have to just be persistent, because you
Yes.
could have quit a long time ago.
Yeah.
And just been another violinist. But
Exactly.
You're not. Now you're Esther Anaya doing so many things. So let's talk about that. Like so you started doing like gigs, you started going to Dubai, and then you became you did your business with
Natalia.
right? So it's like
Yes.
DJ. I know you've been doing that for a while.
Yes. So I used to play with DJs, and I used to be only a violinist. Then I thought to myself, why can't I be both? I could DJ and I could play the violin.
At one point, you were doing. I remember you were doing like stuff with a drummer too, right? You did.
Yes.
Okay, so it was like you, a drummer, and then a DJ.
Even-
Okay,
yeah, with the
remember
girls. I went from a DJ duo with another girl that she used to DJ, and I used to play the violin separately, to add in a drummer
Okay.
to our set. Then we became a band. We added a singer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, then we were another group, and then we broke up.
Okay.
And then I went solo. And then while I was going solo, then I met Natalia.
Oh.
And she's my current music partner.
Okay.
And now we have a DJ duo called Natalia and Esther, and we both DJ.
Oh.
And then, yeah, we both
Okay.
do our mixing, and then I go in the front and I play the violin, and she stays behind the decks.
Nice. I didn't know you were
Yeah.
doing DJing too.
Yes.
Oh, how cool.
I mix in with her, and we play all kinds of music from EDM to Latin. We love old school hip hop. We throw old school hip hop in our sets. It's something very unique and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so amazing. And you guys have been so blessed to work some amazing shows. I mean, can you talk a little bit about?
Absolutely. I'm very have been like highlights of my life. I remember the first time I performed with someone that I admired big time was in 2011. I played at the All-Star game with Rihanna and Kanye West.
Really?
It was, that was a moment where I was
goodness.
like, okay, I belong on the stage.
Yeah.
Literally, because I felt like it was home, being at the Staples Center and being like, looking at all the lights and all the people screaming for Rihanna, which is like someone I admire the most.
Absolutely.
Like, oh my God, I love her.
Uh-huh.
I saw that and I was like, okay.
And you had to like keep your composure, like.
Yes, I was like, oh.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, literally. And then after that, I started performing with Cristian Castro
at
the Greek Theater. Then I had my own show at the Foreign Theater with my dancers and everything. Then after that, transitioned to the Latin industry, where it's my roots. It's something that I'm very proud of, being Latina. And I opened the tour. Natalia and we opened the Maluma tour.
I know, that is so cool.
It was amazing.
How was that? Because that, wasn't just a one-time thing. That was like, you were on tour.
Yes.
So you got to do a whole bunch of shows and with someone, Maluma, everybody knows who he is.
Yes.
And he's from your country.
Exactly.
So, like, how amazing must that have felt? Like,
that was like a great experience. Plus, like, I admire him so much, and he's someone very close to us, like he's Natalia's boyfriend, and someone that we learned so much from the tour. Been in 25 cities, 9 countries and 25 cities, 25 shows in a month and a half. Every day, it was like an experience that I will never forget. Then we opened for Bad Bunny, Farruko, Brian Myers. We played with Don Omar. Like, and the list goes on. And then
oh my goodness.
in a year, the course of like 1 year, and the opportunities just keep coming. And I feel like, this is only like the beginning of something, that it's gonna keep growing.
Yeah, absolutely. That is really, really neat. So I didn't even know you opened up for Bad Bunny and Farruko. Oh my gosh.
Baja Beach Fest. This year, we're actually gonna be doing the same event, and we're doing it with J Balvin and Ozuna.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be August 14th. You should come.
I know.
Yes.
I think I'm going to.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah, and then Cardi B and Bad Bunny the next day.
Oh
after
wow,
we perform. Yeah.
That's really, really neat. That is so awesome. So you're just in front of people and you're doing your thing. Do you get nervous still?
I don't get butterflies, and I like it. I love it. I don't get nervous. I get more nervous when I'm like in a very small circle.
Private.
It's like people are like just looking
all
at me
eyes
like,
on you.
Yeah, but when I'm like in huge crowds, no.
It's just you were meant to be there.
Oh, I love it.
That's really, really neat. And how do your parents feel? Like, what do they say or what?
They're very proud. My dad, I think he's living his dream through me.
Oh,
and then I'm living my dream for him.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he can't do it because he had to like support a family, like a lot of parents out there that have to give up for their dreams to, be responsible. So my dad, and then my mom, she very supportive, and then me trying to like reach this big dream I've had since I was very little. And then I have my brothers that are like literally like very inspired by music, but they never were able to pursue the career. But they like, I will support you in anything. I'll make music with you. Cool. Whatever you need, I'll come. Yeah.
That's nice that they're not jealous, that they're supporting you, that your family is supporting you, and like so proud. I mean, I'm sure I would be so proud if I was your dad too, because like you said, you grew up watching him do music, play music every single day for your mom, and then for him to watch his little girl like all over the world with the top artists of the world, like that must be such an amazing feeling as a parent to say, wow, like my daughter is doing it. Have they been to like any of your big shows?
No, they haven't.
Really?
Because I know that's you just reminded me that. I'm gonna call them and be like, Mom,
you guys have to come.
Yes. No, they haven't, but they've seen TV and like videos and stuff, but they haven't been able to make it because it's always been like overseas and other countries. But cool. Maybe this year they'll be able to see something. Oh,
that's really amazing. And then what what do you foresee in your future? What's you mentioned this is just the beginning. Like, what do you want for Esther?
Well, one of the things I always say, I describe myself as the Santana of the violin. That's what I see myself in the future. I see myself singing and playing the violin and collaborating with people that I admire and that I want to add and make music together in big scenarios like all over the world, giving an experience to my audience, giving them a journey through music, through mic music, from the Latin style of music to the EDM. That is what makes me, because I'm very versatile. I play all kinds of music, and I could sing, and I could, write, and I could play the violin and dance. So I want to show the world that and inspire other people and make them happy by listening to my music. And just keep doing it until can't do it anymore.
Yeah, you have such an amazing aura. Like even when I first met you, like just hanging out with you, you're always happy, you're always smiling. Like I've never seen you upset or sad. I'm sure you have your moments, but like that's just what you give up. You're like a naturally happy person, and you're always striving for more and more and more, and that's what you just need in order to succeed in life. I think just never settle and keep pushing, keep pushing. I know you've been, when we first met, like you were in situations where like you almost got married.
Yes. Oh my God.
And then it was really cool because it was just like, you know what? I remember talking to you and you were like, I just want to pursue my passion. Like I'm not ready. I just want to do it. And I was even thinking like, well, what else is there to being a violinist? I mean, it was hard for me to think like, okay, like your career, I get it. Like are you going to play in an orchestra? I just had no idea like how far you would take it. You now have your single for what is it called?
It's called Viola.
Viola,
my first single.
Viola. It's such an amazing music video, you guys. Like it's on YouTube.
Yes, it's on YouTube.
Check it out. It is such an amazing video. I had to rewatch it so many times. And then seeing it at your party was like seeing it on the big screen. I was just like, oh my goodness, this video was so amazing. And it's just all music.
Yeah.
It's the violin, her playing the violin, but it tells a story, which is really, really cool. Can you explain the story a little bit?
Yes,
what it's about?
Viola is a song that has no voice, and the only voice is my violin, and it's telling my journey through life. It starts very, very dark type of scenario where I come into a picture where I feel lost, which is like a lot of people come into a situation or a life, or you're going through something and you're always scared, you don't know what to expect. In the video, I start and I oversee the scenario, and there's my dancers are there with masks, and there's people starting dancing, and I just walk in and I'm like, okay, what is this? And that relates to when you walk into a scenario and you see other people, they were wearing masks. A lot of people, the first impression is they always wear masks. Yeah. You don't really, they want to protect themselves,
right?
Whatever it is. After that part in the video, I start running away from them. They come after me, kind of trying to get me into their world.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of have to see the video. I wish I could show you so I can explain through it. But they come after me as I'm playing the violin. They're waking up and they come chase me. And that part is when I show the world my passion, who I am. Sometimes people, what they want to do is they want to come to you, but kind of gravitate you to their world. And then sometimes make you forget what your real passion is. Yeah. I'm not saying everybody, but a relationship, for example. I had a boyfriend. I was literally going to give up my whole life to be his wife. But then I was forgetting what my real dream was, that it was I want to be an artist. I want to be a violinist.
Yeah.
So I could relate to that. And when that happens, they kind of come after me, and then I drop my violin. And then they take me to the circle, start dancing and doing all their movements. And that's the part where you forget who you really are.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, butterfly comes in the video. You see a butterfly. Butterflies are transformation. Butterflies are freedom to me. And in that part where you see the butterfly, it's when I remember who I am as an artist. And I get the violin and I start playing my solo. And when I start playing my solo, my dancers wake up again and their mask go away. Exactly. It's like when you remember who you really are, you gravitate all the people that are meant to be in your life.
Yes.
And that's what happened.
You just stay true to yourself, and
exactly.
you repel the people that you don't want in your life, because when you become true to yourself, the ones that you don't want just go away, and then the ones that do matter and that do want to be around you, they gravitate to you.
Yes.
Which I totally understood that watching the video.
Exactly. And then the people that matter are there, and they're going to see your success, and you are going to be part of their life and be something positive and someone that is going to help them too. It's not a one-way thing in life. It's always two-way, I believe. You give something, you get something in return to you. You make me happy, I make you happy together, And then at the end of the video, it's like we come all together. They join me in a dance, and then at the end, I release the butterflies. Like, I'm ready to keep moving. I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to go to the next level, and that's it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I loved it. You guys have to watch it, Viola, by Esther Anaya. You guys, I'll put the links in the description for them to see, and I'll probably have them edited into the video as well. So thank you so much, Esther. I want to ask you one last question, and then if you can answer it in Spanish first, and then answer it in English. So what I want to ask is, for any other aspiring musician, what would you say to them if they've kind of are going in your footsteps, where they run into like roadblocks and they're just ready to give up, but it's their passion? What is some advice you would give to an aspiring artist that wants to just take it full throttle, but they're scared?
Something that works for me, I pray. And what I did in the worst moments of my life is I prayed to God, and I told him, God, don't leave me in this moment that I need you the most, and take away from me any person that is not supposed to be in my life, and bring me angels to give me strength to keep moving. And that's what happened. In the moments that I was going to give up, I felt God sent to me the right people and guided me through where I need to be. And he's still with me. And I have so many dreams. And every day I pray for my dreams and I put them in his hands. And that's what works for me. And I feel like that's the advice I could give as a personal advice.
Y nos puedes decir en español. Let me see if I could ask you the question in Spanish. Para la gente que quiere hacer how do you say musician?
Quiere ser músico.
Un músico, ajá, que quiere ser un músico, pero no,
hay muchos obstáculos para cualquier persona que quiere ser un músico, está en la industria y pasa por problemas y obstáculos. El mejor consejo.
¿Qué es un consejo que le puede avisar?
El mejor consejo que puedo dar es que le encomienden todos sus caminos a Dios. Que en los momentos más difíciles le pidan a Dios que aparte de su vida, a todas esas personas que les quiera hacer daño, y que traiga a su vida a todos esos ángeles que les pueden guiar. Y yo sé que si todo lo que encomiendas a Dios, sus caminos, te va a ir bien. Y yo oro todos los días por mis sueños. Y yo sé que son muchos, y yo sé que sí están protegidos por Dios, y Dios me los va a conceder. Hasta ahora los ha hecho.
I love it. Thank you so much, Esther. So where can the audience find you?
Yes, you guys can find me on any platforms, on Spotify, Esther Anaya, on Instagram, Esther Anaya, on YouTube, Esther Anaya. I'm coming out with my next single where I'm going to be singing.
Yay!
Yes, it's coming soon. It's in Spanish. It's a tropical reggaeton vibe. It's very cool. And I'm going to be releasing in a month and a half. And and listen to my music. I have all different kind of styles coming out, so I'm gonna let my audience pick their favorite.
That's awesome. And I'll put everything in the descriptions too, all the links to your stuff, so that everyone can reach you as well. Thank you so much, Esther. I really love this episode. It's so inspiring. You're so inspiring, and I wish you nothing but success. And I'm definitely gonna have to go to.
Oh yes, you're coming.
Yeah,
with me.
to Baja
and you guys should come too.
All right. Well, thank you guys. That's a wrap for this episode. Esther Anaya.
Thank you.